Hello, it is 1:30. I am about to hop into our local yarn shop because my cousin just sent me a message that she would like to have a headband as well for Christmas, so I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna get her some merino and whip up a headband this weekend. Other than that, I'm gonna go to the shop to get some stuff for Levi for breakfast, and after that we will go and get some stuff from the meat shop and do the Christmas food shopping. So busy day today, but tomorrow I'm planning to do absolutely nothing except fun things. But today it's a little bit of adulting, household stuff, and of course knitting. Hello everybody. Yes, I came up here to just talk a little bit, wrap around this vlog, which is actually quite a short one because I really haven't been doing anything this weekend. I've been knitting, I've been sleeping, I've been playing Pokemon Go because it was community weekend, and cuddling with the dog, and that's it. Yeah, that's really it. I wanted to take the weekend to charge up because it's gonna be Christmas week. I'm gonna be baking, decorating, and doing stuff. So I just wanted to make sure that I have the energy to, you know, and have the energy to all the social encounters that I also have to do this week, because it really honestly takes me 4 days to recover from having to visit relatives or attending a party. I mean, not my own relatives because of course I've always lived with them, but generally we're not that much in touch with my spouse's family. So when we see, they're still a little bit strangers, despite being, you know, I've been knowing them for over 10 years now, but still, you know what I mean. It's just, we're not that close, and when I'm dealing with people who I'm not that close with, not necessarily 100% comfortable being me, it takes a lot out of me. And that was also, I'm not farting here, it's just this rubber thing that I use for knitting when I have to push the needle to get it moving a little bit. But yeah, it was also with this Vlogmas thing that I wasn't quite sure what, like, I don't really think that much about what people think about me, but sometimes it just dawns to me in this kind of like flash, like, but what would people think? And it was really with the Vlogmas, because letting people in my house, seeing me every day with my hair sticking up, and you know, me baking with the whole house being covered in flour, or you know, anything, seeing a little bit of, you know, crap on the floor, my never-ending nose wipe collection. You know, the dog takes it and then leaves it on the floor and dumps it there, and I don't even notice it if I'm vlogging necessarily. I do a sweep out every couple of days, but I just, things that I don't really pay attention to, but I'm maybe sure that other people maybe pay attention to. So I was really a little bit hesitant to let people into my house, into an uncontrolled space, let's just say that, because this is a controlled space. So, but so far it's been fine. I mean, I've been comfortable with it, and it hasn't really bothered me that much. Yeah, I would like to show a couple of knits before I go and wrap this up. This one will probably come up Monday evening, and then I will do one whole thing about the Christmas week and preparations. Depending on how long it gets, I might publish it in 2 parts. I don't want these vlogmases to get too long. One was like 26 minutes, and that's way too long for a vlogmas. I would like to keep these like max 15 minutes, because that's really the length I prefer watching myself, because there's a lot of vlogmases to catch on. So yeah. In any case, I am about to finish next week. I'm just shipping my Christmas package out next week. As said, it doesn't need to make it to the Christmas, and my parents, my dad kind of prefers that I ship it a little bit like behind the Christmas rush, so that it doesn't get stuck anywhere and that kind of jazz. But I'm making him socks from Novida 7 Brothers, so Seitsemän veljestä. Whoa, it really picked up some crazy colors there. And yeah, it's just a regular sock with a French turn. And I actually did my first French turn in Levi's sleeping socks. So I'm not sure if it's gonna fit me, if it's gonna be the preferred turn that I do into every socks. I kind of just go with the flow. I'm just like, what kind of turn do I want to do here? I'm just kind of trying the wind and my mood, and I just do it. But it's nice to learn a new way to turn the flappy flap. Yeah, so these are gonna be for my dad. Then already finished, I have my sister's Hugo Cow. These are made out of the Cool Wool Big Merino. It's a worsted weight yarn. There's some of yarn still undone. So it's just a nice cowl with I like that it comes quite wide enough so that there's nothing coming in between here. That something would be cold air. And then it has just a thingy that you can lift up. Kind of measured it that it's quite tall, because we don't have very long necks. We're kind of like hobbity people with short necks, so it's, yeah. Sorry, I've been cleaning a little bit, so my dust allergies are just kicking in like a mule. So this one got ready already last week. I made a headband with it, which I'm not 100% satisfied with, but I mean, it works. And my sister's only request was that it's super thick, and it's made from double held worsted, so it's like super bulky or something, and 5mm needles to get really kind of like thick fabric, so that the harsh winds of Finland doesn't cut through. And I ran out of yarn, so I just made it black here. But honestly, it doesn't really matter that much, so you won't really see it. And then you have like a thingy here, so I'm not 100% happy with it, but dear lord, is it warm. So it will do everything my sister asked it to do. So my hair is just like a catastrophic mess. It's very long, but also very thin, so it's just absolutely everywhere all the time. Yesterday I left it between the car door, and half of my hair has been like flapping outside while I've been driving. So, but yeah, this. So this is the headband. It was just some drops yarns thingy that I took the measurements from, and then I just kind of winged it and measured it by my own head. So it's not 100% happy with it, but my sister was fine. It does what it has to. And then my cousin asked, because she had seen not sure what it is in Dutch, in English, maybe seed stitch. It's called the pearl stitch, so like a pearl, like black pearl. And just like explaining my kind of like pronunciation here, because this other day I was trying to pronounce my boyfriend's last name in Dutch, and I'm really bad at spelling per se, or like spelling it out. Because for example in Swedish, E, A, and A, and A, and O, and U, they can kind of like vary. What you say and what you write isn't necessarily the same. And there, I think the lady just wrote down the foreigner lady, the lady with the funky Dutch. But I managed to do the whole order in Dutch. I got everything. When I went to pick it up, she said, go for it. Your Dutch isn't half bad. Just keep practicing. Just keep calling your orders, and you'll be fine. And I was like, thank you. And that's really super important to me as a foreigner, learning the language, that people play ball with me. Because for example, French countries in Germany, if I don't pronounce it perfectly, they're like, I do not understand you. And I'm like, bro, you do understand me, you just don't want to understand me. Dutch here around Limburgs, doesn't matter that my accent is terrible. It doesn't matter that I pronounce things weird. They don't even bat an eye. They're just like, and they just play ball with me. And if I struggle with a word, they suggest something. And that's it. I'm really happy with that. But my cousin also wanted a headband, so I'm making this Instagram. I took the stitch count from an Instagram account, and using the instructions there, it's somehow like you make a long tube, and then you somehow, ta-da, make it into like a wrap turn headband. I think it's like this or something. I don't know really. But we'll see when we get there. And she wanted it in seed stitch, so I went to the yarn shop yesterday to get some yarn for that. And it's the same yarn as I use for my sister's cowl and headband. Then last but not least, I'm really sorry about my sniffling, but there are slippers for my aunt. These were supposed to be for my boyfriend, but he was like, yes, but Anna, I am not an old man. I will not use any slippers. So I was like, okay, fine. I'll just throw them in 60 degrees. Usually I felt in 40 and hope that they become small enough to fit my tiny feet. They didn't, but then my aunt was like, oh, shiny. I was like, wait for Christmas, because I'm gonna give them to her. I had to cut it. I made this with a pattern called Monique Ray men's felted slippers. It's a nice pattern, but for some reason it leaves me always a little bit of a lump here. So I decided to cut it out, and then I'll just hand felt the edges here. So I'll smooth things out and hand felt them, and then I'll package them for my aunt, so she'll get really nice. And these are not that thick of a slippers, because it's just made with worsted yarn and an 8mm needle. I don't know what that is in American or Canadian sizes, but it's really nice, because often, for example, I've made a few pairs of this to my dad, because he thinks that regular felted slippers are too hard, so he doesn't like them. But these are really nice and squishy but warm, so I'm gonna give these to my aunt. And these are Drops Nepal and Drops Alaska, and they have already Nappa's hair in it, but I'll just get rid of them. And she has a dog as well, so they'll have more dog hair anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'm sorry, I was just piling my stuff up. But yeah, I wish you all a great Christmas week. I will let you on board on my Christmas preparations. I might have more episodes, several smaller episodes next week, but not necessarily one big, so we'll see. It all depends on my energies. I'm not gonna force it. I'm just gonna do this on my own terms. It's, you know, I just do this for the fun of it, and for fun of me, for fun for myself, so I can look back. And yeah, so there's no pressure. But I wish you all a great time waiting for Christmas, and I will talk to you next week.